Ohayou gozaimasu. And omedetou gozaimasu. Congratulations for being alive, being able to be here in good health, and that you all came here safely. Really recently, I was like, oh, I almost got into an accident. And it's like, even if I'm being as careful as possible, it's like there are reckless drivers everywhere these days. It's so common. They're like either drunk or drugged, or something's going around in their head and they're not driving safely at all. And like, 本当に, this was about a week ago, I think. I was coming home, going home to Waipio from here, and you know that ramp you go into the freeway from Wahiawa into the freeway? I was just doing my usual thing, going up the ramp into the freeway, and I usually don't look at my rearview mirror. But I don't know what made me do that, but I looked in the rearview mirror and I saw this like dump truck, the huge, humongous dump trucks, and he had a lot of gravel in the back that area, and this thing was like coming at full speed, and there's a car on my left side. You know what she was trying to do? This big dump truck was trying to go in between us. This truck was coming at full speed. He must have been going like 80 miles per hour. And I just went to the freeway, and I was still going like 45 because I was trying to speed up. And then something made me look in the rearview mirror, and this thing was coming speeding in between us. And I was like, that split second decision, I was like, oh, I better move before he rams me over. He was like this close to hitting me and the other car. If I didn't move to the right, I would have guaranteed gotten smashed by that semi truck. And I'm thankful that there was nobody on the right side, because I was still at the ramp, right? And somebody could have been speeding more towards me. But 本当に, o kage. In Japanese, it's called kikibatsu. Kikibatsu means like in a nick of time. I felt like Kami-sama saved me. Like, somebody definitely watching out for me. So accidents, that's why they're called accidents, right? We don't know when they're going to happen, and the least expected. They happen when we least expect it. So every time I go somewhere and I come back safely, even if it's just a regular trip to the supermarket, I say thank you. It's only a split second. Just put your hands together and they'll onegaishimasu. Before starting the engine, come back safely, or go reach your destination, put your hands together again. Arigatou gozaimasu, Koko-sama. Start your engine again. Konko-sama yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Come back safely. Arigatou gozaimasu. That's all. That's practicing faith, because you're putting Kami-sama behind the wheel as well, and not only you. So we are able to drive in blessedness and always through Kami-sama's guidance and protection. Anyways, I want to thank you all for, again, coming here today for our monthly memorial service to honor the people who passed away. And some familiar names like Noguchi-san, Mr. Noguchi, Jin Noguchi, and Alice Yamamoto, as Sensei called it. I truly remember those people, and they're like the core members that used to come every Sunday. And a lot of good memories with them, and I miss them. But I'm sure they're happy that you are here today. And last week, Monday, was a church kotaisai, and I'm really happy that you could all be attending our service. The weather was really beautiful, and the turnout was amazing too. We had a full house actually. There wasn't enough chairs, and I was like, whoa, that's amazing. I wasn't expecting that many people to come, because I thought people were going to be afraid of the weather and not make it out. But honestly, we received big okage, and I think everybody did too. But 2 weeks ago was the Honolulu Church Grand Ceremony, and we attended, and guest speaker was Reverend Yoki Sekiguchi, who's the head minister of the Konko Mission of Hilo. Young guy, really, he's only like 35 years old. So he was born in Hawaii, and he could speak both English and Japanese. And he came from a complete non-believer. He didn't even know what Konko was. And he was guided by his boss at work, who happened to be a Konko minister, Reverend Kei Kunito. So I really appreciated how Yoki sent his sermon, especially how he compared the heart of Kami-sama to the heart, or Kami-sama or God to the heart of parents and the people who take care of us. Yogi Sensei shared that in the nurturing of the human being, there needs to be somebody who is genuinely kind, but not only kind. So if there's even one person in the family who is like the pincushion, the gentle one, the forgiving one, the kind one, that child will learn kindness. But he said that in Japan these days, that's all they're kind of leaning towards, only kindness, kind. You have to be nice, you have to talk nicely, you have to act nice. It's all like not pressing the buttons, right? So, but as a result, people are becoming very lax. And they are easily offended and quick to react. They quit easily. They can handle, they don't have patience, and they become reclusive, like hikikomori, yeah. And they stay in their room all day playing video games. They just don't go out anymore because they don't want to deal with people or drama. So Yogi Sensei, he emphasized that a balance of kindness and some strictness is very important for a proper nurturing of a human being. There has to be someone who gives tough love, discipline when necessary, so that we don't go down the wrong path. He also shared that he himself was a true rebel in high school, and it really troubled his parents to no end. But when he moved back to Hawaii on his own and found a job at a tour company in Kona, his supervisor, who happened to be a Konko minister, Yogi Sensei said he was actually scared of him in the beginning because he always looked mad. But that supervisor, he was the only one who gave him that tough love, who helped him grow and become more independent. So Yogi Sensei, he didn't even have a driver's license at first. And his boss forced him to learn. He said, you gotta get out of that comfort zone, and you gotta force yourself to drive. So on their days off, the boss took him out to drive and taught him how to drive. And literally, the boss risked his life teaching him how to drive, he said. Yogi Sensei, he didn't even have a car. So the boss was like, you need a car. And he lent him, this Konko minister lent him 10 grand, I think. And I was like, oh, who would do that? I'll be scared to lend that kind of money to people. So as down payment, so he could get a car. And his boss entrusted him with $10,000. Well, Yogi Sensei, he felt truly cared for and entrusted for the first time, I think. And he honestly repaid him in full. Again, he explained that Kami-sama is both unconditionally generous and kind like a mother. But on the other side, Kami-sama can show tough love at times. Kami-sama gives us many signs to try to wake us up if we are going in the wrong direction. Kami-sama tends to be more lenient to people who don't have faith because they simply don't know. But for those of us who do have faith and should know better, sometimes that hand that comes from above can feel a little bit more painful. But that too is tough love. That's the nature of Kami-sama, something both love and something that we can both love and respect equally. And it cannot be too soft, it cannot be too harsh either. Somewhere in between, the Goldilocks zone is actually what's good. Just like with plants, my dad, he loves certain plants in the yard and more than others, so he would give more fertilizer, more love, and thinking it'll grow better. But what does it do? It dies. The concentration of the fertilizer is too strong and it ends up killing the plant. Too much love again, not good. So recently I was listening to a recording of ministers gathering on Zoom. It was a recording, and the guest speaker was Reverend Tomohiro Yagi Sensei. He was originally a complete non-believer as well. I really enjoyed this, by the way. And he met his wife not because he was drawn to the faith. He didn't even know about the faith or nothing. He was just drawn to that woman's energy, her aura, and her charm. And after marrying her, he became the adopted son, and he took his wife's last name. And moved into the church with his in-laws. He would have these faith discussions late into the morning, drinking beer with Oya Sensei. And at first, he didn't understand any of this faith talk. He was like, oh, who is kami-sama? What is this? But over time, almost through like osmosis, the faith gradually became absorbed into his soul. And he said he was very afraid of his father-in-law at first. His father-in-law was very nitpicky and constantly scolded him. His grown adult constantly was scolded by him. For example, he was like, Tomo-chan, he was called Tomo-chan by the way. Tomo-chan, when you come into the house, straighten your slipper, straighten your shoes. It's all over the place. And I felt that message was speaking to me too, because I'm like that. And my mom was like, Kabu-chan, your slipper is dancing. And he was often told to straighten your back. You're always hunched over. The gamer's back. At first, he didn't like being told what to do because he felt like a little kid being scolded by somebody. And he's like, I'm an adult. What the heck? But Yagi Sensei began to take it as like his spiritual training and accepted everything his father-in-law told him. He was called Tomo-chan and would hear things like, hey, go straighten your slippers again. Like so often. He was like getting kind of annoying at first. So one time his father-in-law said, Tomo-chan, what's going to happen if I die? I don't think you are ready. Another time during a drunken conversation, he said, Tomo-chan, you have to act like a human being. And he's like, what are you talking about? I am a human being. And Yagi Sensei was confused. So his father-in-law explained that people today are too selfish. They think only about themselves and their own happiness. They care very little about the well-being of others, especially strangers. That's not being a true human being, he said. That is still being like an animal. Animals only think about themselves. If you have a pile of food, the animal will be like, mine, oh mine, I need it for you. And I see that with the cats, especially in our area. If I put a nice can of wet cat food, oh, one of it is just gonna hug it. And you put like her whole body over the pile of food, and if any cat comes by, she's like, my food. So he's like, we shouldn't be like that. We should be sharing and caring people. So one day his father-in-law told him directly, from this moment, you are now going to be the head minister of Wahiawa Church. And Yagi Sensei said, and then the son-in-law said, I will accept this responsibility without resistance. It has been 13 years since his marriage into the Konko minister's daughter's family, with the wife and the family. He shared that before he realized it, before he even realized it. His back was no longer hunched. He had a nice posture, and his footwear was always nicely straightened. And Yagi Sensei described this experience as taking bitter medicine. Bitter medicine. Medicine is given to fix problems, right? And often, the more bitter it is, the more effective it is. So we don't like bitter medicine. Like, I'd rather choose the gummy sweet stuff over like the bitter pills. Like, we prefer the easier way. We don't have patience. We want fast results. We don't like being told what to do. Yeah. When I was at the Almighty Church, like before going, the Almighty Church is all about telling you what to do and what not to do, and they'll tell you without any filter, without any like, oh, if I tell her, maybe she's gonna be hurt. No, they don't do that. They will tell you right now and right there. So. And my mom pre-warned me of that before I went to Almighty Church. So that's where I went for spiritual training, by the way. So my mom said, when you go to Almighty Church, they're going to be very strict with you. So whatever you're told, say, hey! And arigatou gozaimasu! I said, okay, that's the biggest piece of advice ever. And that's how I was able to survive Almighty Church. If I was like talking back to Oya Sensei or something like that, oh man, I don't think I would have survived. And it was really good. That piece of advice was probably one of the best to survive Almighty Church. Even going to the Ooku, it's called Ooku, where the head minister, like mother-in-law, lives really way in the back of the church. And she presses a button sometimes, like beep. And that's when one of the women trainees has to go and see what she needs. It's like ringing a bell. So every time that beep comes from the Ooku, the women sensei were like, oh man, you go you go. I'm like, go, you go. But I was like, I'm going, and I ran to the back. I was like, hey, help me, I'll be of your service. Everybody was scared of her because she was one of the most mean ones. But I really loved her. She was scary, but I really loved her. So I was the one that was running to her. Like, she was like, whoa, you're already here. People like, go slowly. Oh my God, yeah. But I just run, yeah. So, because I'm like the first one that runs to her, and she ended up liking me too. And then for my birthday, she's like, it was like past 10 o'clock p.m. I was getting ready to go to bed. She came knocking on my door, from the Ooku. And she said, Kazu-chan, I know it's your birthday today. I have a treat for you. I'll never forget that. She gave me a cake and some candy because she knows I love sweets. And she was just, oh man, I will never forget that. And that's like unheard of. That kind of kindness is unheard of. So yes, if we try to run away from those people that are mean to you, we'll never learn. Yeah? Anyways, that's just a side story. Okay, anyway, but if we can accept whatever, like that bitter medicine, if we can receive even the scolding as bitter medicine, believing it will help us to grow just a little bit, we can mature even a little more. And especially as adults, we feel we are already grown, so we don't want to be told what to do by somebody older. There's always an opportunity to become a better person than we were yesterday. And maybe this is just one of the ways Kami-sama continues to guide us, both kindness and discipline, so that we can keep growing little by little into the kind of human being that Kami-sama intends us to be. Because again, we're all children of Kami-sama. Kami-sama didn't have only one son. Kami-sama had many sons and many daughters, and everybody here is a child of Kami-sama. So we are called to grow more and more into the likeliness of Kami-sama, and that's our job. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you for your presence today. Maybe her message is enough and very entertaining. I remember one email made by the Reverend Sugaki Yoshino for floating face 素直なが一番、素直 means accept whatever forward idea. Yeah, honestly accept. And then practice. And actually, in the Kyoto and Gorikai, 素直 means 変人. 変人 means not extraordinary person. Sounds strange, but 変人ならねば真理ができん。If you follow the social norms, you can practice faith. Practice Konko faith. That could be strange for the people, no people. So, 素直なのが一番。When I listen to Edna Sensei's speech, right? Even the chickens and cats respond to human beings. Sometimes rooster noise disturb. So maybe about 4:30 in the morning, about half a dozen chickens stay on the trees, several trees. They're like a hotel for them. So sometimes I spray water. Shower.
Oh no, he can't stop that.
You can't stop.
William cats appreciate, even children appreciate because she gives food. But
Yeah.
we go. Maybe for animals, can are blessing givers and food, blessing for them. So they respond simply. When I get out here, they just go away. They go up. So, anyway, the same thing happened to even human beings. We want to get blessed. But true blessings can be acquired through some state, like this is mentioned. The total new, total stranger Konko Kyo, because kind of straight to the person. But then, no people may hesitate to appreciate that kind of people, people, but they can get something trade if they appreciate to those people something difficult. What should I say? So actually, the sensei at the Yagi is very wise and effective educator at faith practice. He communicate the essence of Konko faith to the new person. I may not be able to be that good. I've been writing about Konko faith over 37 years, writing. And I'm not sure how many people would understand the message I gave to you through my writing. But if you are truly interested in the practice, maybe you can get some element, some essential element of Konko practice. So, I think I should stop my presentation. ありがとうございます。
いやいや、ここは大事に金の神真に願い、おかげは我が心にあり、今月にちでために、Sincerely with all your heart, with one with God's presence in within, heart, spiritual and caring, in harmony and joy, with the God always, now and forever, on this great day. Page 132かな
130, number 18.
Number 18ね。読みましょうよ。ここは one paragraph よね。Okay. Number 18. Whenever there was an offering from a believer, the founder wouldn't say who offered it. In the fall of 1878, I saw an offering of 3 sacks of rice. I asked who the donor was. The founder only said they were offered by a person from the west of here. Since he had thought that his rice harvest would be less than usual due to insects, he prayed to Kami-sama. He, of course, ended up with a bigger harvest than usual and came to offer the extra rice. Konko-sama never mentioned who or how old the donor was. The founder once imparted, giving offerings won't result in divine blessings. In the following year, he discoursed. A believer who heard his teaching and came and told me, I practiced faith and prayed thinking that if I reap the surplus harvest, I would offer all of it. But since my harvest was less than usual, I cannot offer anything this year. 19. Even a fox or badger would be happy to be revered as a kami. People who are the master of all living things should accumulate the virtue that will have them be revered as a kami.
Number 20. When I die, you may wrap my body and throw it into the river or bury it into the ground or do to it whatever you wish. A person's dead body is empty and impure. However, throwing your dead parent into the river will have people admonish you. It would be better to wrap my body with straw matting and bury it. Revere my Mitama spirit.
21. I wrote down the following after hearing them from the founder while he was still alive in 1883. Don't think that Kami's blessings cannot be seen. Try to receive them, for they can be seen. 2. Be doubtful, and there will be no end. Though people were born in Kami's land, they take Kami lightly. If you stray into a false faith, there will be no end. People think of true faith as false and false faith as true. 3. Don't make wedding arrangements while fearing ominous directions. Do you really think the days and directions influence people's lifespans and the prosperity of their descendants? 4. When something happens, don't say it's the curse of Konji. 5. Other people's problems are your own. What happens to others today will happen to you tomorrow.
ありがとう。
6. To practice faith, it doesn't matter if the believer is a fool, a wise person, a layman, or from high society. Practice faith and work hard at your occupation. It will be for the sake of your family, the government, and the country. Pray before taking any medicine. You will become healthy. Your health is the basis of your life. And when you exercise, take not only your body, but also the heart of faith. Win by losing. Don't do impure things arbitrarily according to your heart's desire. You should not arbitrarily do impure things by saying things at will. Don't strain yourself by rushing things and not waiting for the right time. Don't increase your own passion by seeing the passions of others.
ありがとう。
16. Try to find the right time when yin and yang work together. 17. By being born in Kami's land, you should know the favor of Kami and the country. 18. Know the teachings of the great way of faith revealed directly by Kami. 19. Know the teachings of the true and great way of faith revealed by the greatest Kami in the universe. 20. Whether you are living or dead, heaven and earth will always be your home. 21. Be enlightened that whether you are living or dead, you are under the care of the universe. 22. Kami has no voice and cannot be seen. If you doubt Kami, there will be no end to your doubt. You should be in awe, eliminate your doubts. 23. Realize that without the sun's light, you cannot live on earth. 24. When you acquire wholeheartedness, don't lose it. Otherwise, you will fall ill and lose your life.
ありがとう。Don't return to your wholeheartedness, otherwise you will ill and return your life. 26. People can be seen, but know that come. Doubt this, and there will be no end to your doubt. 27. Be born in this world. You shouldn't forget nor doubt Kami's teachings of the great way of faith. Be born in this world. You should know Kami's teachings of the great way of faith. 29. The soul is your soul. Meditation in the body comes from the soul. People become humans through the lesson of Genji no Kami. 30. But knowing that this nation is Kami's, you must be aware of that and doubt Kami's teachings of the great and true way of faith. 30. Know the true divine virtue since you are a person under heaven. 32. Know Kami's great and true way of faith under heaven. 32.